Heyo everyone! Let's get bricky! Heyo everyone! I'm Lego MacGyver, and welcome to something new on the channel, which is probably that much of a surprise right now because pretty much anything is new on the channel just because it's been so long. But this is something new that I've decided to do. Recently, my good friend Dana Jo recently posted a new video over on her channel where you can get to from the link down below, as you always can to all my other friends. She recently did a video where she answered a whole bunch of questions, and a lot of these questions are ones I've never really heard as ones being normal before, and they were just sort of out there and they were very interesting. So I asked her where she found them. They were on Pinterest, and it was on this forum called 100 Questions No One Ever Asks. And while some of them I've taken out because they were a bit too weird or a bit too personal, I've decided that I'm going to try and tackle these questions. Why, you may ask? Well, first off, it'll be fun. Probably be some hilarity in there, and you might learn something interesting too. Secondly, that is because I have sort of been known around my group of friends as king of random questions. That's because every once in a while I will randomly ask a really random question. Now, what do you mean by a really random question? Well, it will be things where I'll just randomly happen upon them. Say, what was my favorite one? Having fallen prey to an evil mastermind who is very into cliche ways of disposing of his adversaries. Would you rather A, be eaten alive by piranhas but he has no teeth, or B, be bound to sink in incredibly slow quicksand? No, didn't realize I was a tongue twister. Incredibly slow quicksand. So questions like that is things that I would ask. And a lot of times this would come out of nowhere with really no context or pretext to them at all. But it's just because I thought they were fun and everything, so yeah, I decided that I'm going to turn this into possibly a new little segment here on the channel. So I'll answer some questions, I'll come up with some questions, not only for myself, but also to ask you guys that well at the end of the video. So, we're going to jump right on in. Do you have any magazine subscriptions? No, I don't. Two reasons. One, they're expensive. Secondly, there's no good magazines out anymore. I mean, my brother and I, we used to be subscribed to Nintendo Power, which for any of you who ever had this was the best magazine ever until they discontinued it, which is really sad. Just to give you an idea of like how long ago this was, there's a 2011 date, and I don't think this was the last year for them. I want to say it was 2012, 2013 that they stopped. And the stupid thing was I think it was popularity. They just weren't selling enough copies to make it worth it. But you also have to remember, this is during the days to where the Wii U hadn't even come out yet. I think it may have been speculated a couple times, but it wasn't even out yet. And the Nintendo 3DS, I think, was towards the end of Nintendo Power's life. But yeah, it was so awesome. It was just so good. I mean, you got tons of stuff. You got things about new games. You had game reviews. Remember they had community pages with like fan artwork. It was awesome. It was like one of the best magazines ever, and you always knew what was coming out. I mean, you just don't get this sort of thing in magazines anymore. Now Game Informer. My brother and I liked Game Informer for like the year we had it free from GameStop. That was cool too, but otherwise no. I don't have any magazine subscriptions right now. I don't like any of them. 2. What movies could you watch over and over again and still love? Alright, this is a good question because I love movies and I love a lot of good movies. Some of you might not think are that good, but there is a ton of them that I love and I could watch over and over again. Many of them on this list I have seen like 4+ times anyways. Some of them I have, but instead of showing them, I'm just going to read off the list because it's quite lengthy of ones that I could just think of right ahead. One being Die Another Day, the James Bond movie, The Martian, Baby Driver, Lego Batman, The Lego Movie, A Few Good Men, Sneakers, Tinker and Cass, Fracture, The Whole Nine Yards, Bridge to Terabithia, Aristocats, Last Samurai, Breakfast Club, Ocean's 11, The Prestige, and Home Alone 3. The last one's probably a bit random, but yes, I absolutely love all of these movies, many for many different reasons. A lot of them just dealing with, they're just very nice, well-rounded movies with many aspects that are super, super good. And I would suggest pretty much any of these to anyone if I knew what movies they'd like. Just because many of them are so, so good. Let's see. Next one. Favorite type of fruit pie. Ooh. Part of me wants to say cherry, but I never actually have cherry pie. Often enough, I'd say, to really count as my favorite. And the thing with cherry pies, depending on how it's made, like the types of cherries, you sometimes get it's very easy to have a dry cherry pie. It's also possible to have a very sort of soupy or filling cherry pie filling pie, and not much cherries. So it's very one that you could easily have both ends of the perspective. But I think I'd have to say for favorite fruit pie, for like an actual like pie, actual like circle pie that you bake, I think I'd have to say apple, if not caramel apple, which from like Parkins. Whew, that stuff is really good. It makes me hungry now. Gosh, I should not do this between the time of breakfast and lunch. Apple pie, just because it's really hard to get the ratio of pie filling and actual pie wrong with an apple pie. So I think I have to say that. If we're talking like the little like fruit pies that you get at like the grocery store, the little ones in like a container, then it's JJ's blackberry pie. That one is really, really good. Alright, next question. Ever won a spelling bee? Nope, never been in a spelling bee. Just because they didn't do them at our schools. Which is fine. I mean, I don't think they really prove anything. It just remembers your memory recognition of how a word is spelled. So, no, never been in one. Next one. Were you ever a Boy / Girl Scout? I was! Scout's honor. There was never an actual Boy Scout per se. I was a Cub Scout. I never actually graduated to Boy Scout. I started off as a Wolf Scout and then went through years 1 and 2 of Bear Scout, but I never went to Eagle and Rebelo and actual Boy Scout, unless it's just all considered the Boy Scouts. I don't know exactly how that all works out, or if Cub is much younger than that. I could be wrong. If you are, correct me in the comments below. But I was a Cub Boy Scout for 3 years, and they were really fun. I was in the local Pack 208 near me, and yeah, it was really fun. One of my friends actually got me into it at a young age, and it was fun. You learned a lot of good life lessons, like knots and just general safety stuff. It's something that probably everybody should do for at least a year, just because there's a lot of good general life stuff that you can learn at a young age. So yeah, Scout's honor. I was a Boy Scout. Have you ever peed or pooped in the woods? That's a really weird question just randomly ask someone. Maybe I didn't go through these questions enough. Yes, I was a Cub Scout. When you go out camping, that's what you do. And that's where I'm going to end that question. Next one. Have you ever cried because you were happy? Yes, definitely. Nor do I think it's wrong if somebody does cry because they are so happy. I think it's a very normal, maybe not expected, but it's a very normal and adequate response to that emotion and high levels of happiness and joy. Yeah, I think it's fun if you do that, and I definitely have multiple times. Yeah, so that's pretty fun. Cheetos or Fritos? Is this a thing? Do people just go to people on the street just like Cheetos or Fritos? It's like the whole Coke versus Pepsi, which has a definite answer. You always choose Coke. Cheetos or Fritos, they're two completely different things. On one hand, you have the Cheeto, which, if you're doing the Cheetos correctly, it's the original crunchy Cheetos, not the Cheeto puffs that look like a elbow noodle puffy thing. Whatever it is, it's not the thin, crunchy club looking one. Those are Cheetos, not the other ones. Flaming hot ones, yeah, fine. But the regular Cheetos, that's a Cheeto, first off. But you have a Cheeto over there, then you have a Frito, which is this teeny tiny, curly little. It's like a weird tortilla thing. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. Is it made with like cornmeal or something? I don't know. But they're so totally different things. But I had to choose Cheeto, in all honesty. Only because a Cheeto tastes better than a Frito. Original Fritos are so plain and boring. The honey barbecue twists, I'm not a fan of. They're too crunchy. And what's the other one? Honey barbecue? I don't know. There's other flavors, but meh. I'll take a Cheeto over a Frito any day. Do you cry and throw a fit until you get your way? What are some of these questions? Some of these are like for like a younger person. Maybe I'm too old for these questions. However, do I cry and throw a fit until I get my own way? No, I don't. I'm a grown up. There are better ways to do it than that. No. Do you think musicals are cheesy? Depends on the musical. Because when you think of a musical, there's a couple different ways. On the one hand, you have something like Phantom of the Opera, which is a musical. And that I don't find cheesy. But then you have something like High School Musical or Hairspray. You have something more like that. And Hairspray, I think, falls more into the actual musical category. But you just basically have these. Okay, Disney movies would be a good example. Many Disney movies are not musicals. They just are very plentiful with songs and music in them. I would not consider them a musical, and lots of those I would say are pretty cheesy. It's when they're singing exactly what is happening, or their current predicament, or how they're feeling, in a way that is very boisterous or obvious. Whereas in an actual musical like Phantom of the Opera, sure they're doing that, but it's in a very unique way that doesn't disturb the story. The story can sort of still be told as it's being done. To where you might have one person singing and it cuts to a whole bunch of people singing. It makes sense. But when you have it in other instances where the music's in there, and you know it's only in there to further hyperbole a moment, or further to detail somebody's stress, Frozen would be a great example of one that I would say would be like a cheesy musical, if considered a musical. Do you think musicals are cheesy? Not all. Some, maybe, but I also haven't seen every musical out there, so it's hard to say as well. I guess it'd also be hard to say what about it musicals that are cheesy. Is it the music, the way they're told, commonality between characters, or commonality between stories and plots? I mean, there's so many things that you would have to be a little more specific about. Ever been in love? Yes. Best thing to eat for breakfast? Ooh, I do. Ooh. Best thing to eat for breakfast? As in a single thing, or like a thing as in a gathering of just something? I don't know. I think for like more of a meal, it has to be sausage, biscuits, and gravy. I mean, you can't go wrong with sausage, biscuits, gravy. You put a little bit of like egg in there as well to put the gravy on top of. You can make a sandwich, or sausage, biscuits, and gravy is amazing. I absolutely love it. Like if you talk about something like that, we have that, and you have some fruit with it. That's a great thing to eat. If you're talking more just like a singular one thing to eat for breakfast, though, probably like fruity danishes, fruity like cream cheese danishes. Ooh, absolutely love fruity cream cheese danishes. They're wonderful. Breads are good too, like zucchini breads, banana breads. Those are good. Muffins. I don't know if there's a bad thing to eat for breakfast. I think it's the thing. Yogurt. I think there's a lot more possibilities with yogurt to be bad things for breakfast. Yeah. Oh, and coffee. Coffee's always good. But you don't eat coffee. If you're eating coffee, then something's wrong with you. What is your usual bedtime? At night. Is it up? Is it okay for guys to wear pink? Yes, it's a hue of red. It's just red with a lot of white added in. Or is it white taken out? You mix red and white to make pink. Anyways, it's a hue of red. There's nothing wrong with that. Unless, of course, you talked about pink as in the brand. It's tied with Victoria's Secret. Then no. Because that's just weird. Unless maybe it's their sweatpants. I've heard their sweatpants are really soft and comfortable. But then again, depending on the guy, I don't know if they come in a big enough size. I don't know. I don't go in there. Okay. How would I know? Ask a woman. What is your favorite color? Now here is a hard question to answer. Because if you would have asked me, say, 10 or more years ago, I probably would have said red. Or blue. Because it's normal to have a favorite color when you're younger. But now when I'm older, it's like, and when I'm not going to say like I'm super artsy, but I do enjoy art quite a bit, as well as colors. So there's not like one color that I like more than anything. Because I like tons of colors. There's shades of like limey green that I like, deep purples, the color of cherry blossoms, the color of light maroons. I think it's hard to really have a favorite color when you're so used to many colors, and that you've seen that you, especially if you don't hold true to that color, like that's the only color shirt you wear, or the only color like I don't know, nail polish lipstick. I don't know what people do with their favorite colors. I just feel like if you don't hold true to your favorite color to where it's so pertinent in your life, I feel like it's harder to have one and keep with it. And because I really haven't had one, I think it's a lot harder for me to say. Yeah, do I have a favorite color? Not really. Probably just different shades of color. Can you curl your tongue? I don't know. Can I curl my tongue? That's what curling your tongue is, right? So I'm having to look over here to see what I have on the camera. It's where you make the little U with your tongue, right? No, I don't think I can. However, I can do this. I can touch my nose with my tongue, which some people say is equally as disgusting, but tomato, tomato. You can curl your tongue, I can touch my nose. Can you knit or crochet? No. But, give me a couple minutes, I probably remember how to cross stitch, which I have no clue why I wanted to learn when I was younger, but for some reason I did, and I was actually decently good at it. I made a couple little fun designs for my grandmother for birthday and Christmas, and it was fun. It was a very nice, relaxing thing to do that I wouldn't mind getting into, just because it doesn't take a lot of energy to do, and it's very relaxing, I'd have to say. Alright, who are you? Oh, I'm going to say that one to last. Alright. 20. Ever take dancing lessons? No, though I'd love to, as well as not love to. I'd love to because I'd love to learn, the basics of a lot of dances. Partially because when I write about them, I don't know any of the words to use. So partially for that reason. Secondly, it'd just be nice to learn, the basics of, doing a tango and, a lot of the more, fancies and waltzes. The fancy sort of romantic dances. Just because I think they're very interesting. And I like to watch Dance with the Stars with my mother, so, you know, there's some weeks where it's like, oh, that's pretty cool, and would love to learn how to do that, and when you get in, when that certain song comes on, you just want to sort of dance. It wouldn't be bad to, you know, not look like a goof when I'm alone, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to, simply because of the fact that A, it's going to be long, B, it's going to be time consuming, C, it's going to take lots and lots of practice, to where I probably wouldn't be able to stay committed to it. But then the fact that I don't want to do it like professionally, is I would just want to learn the basics, get the gist of it. That way I don't like act a fool if I'm ever called out. Which really, whoever just goes out on the streets like, you Star-Lord, dance off now. Nobody ever does that. Although if you have, then props on you. Send me a link to your video because that sounds awesome to watch. Next question. Are you lazy? Let's see, it was how long since my last video? No, I'm not lazy. No, I'm really not a super lazy person. I might have my days towards like, I just don't really feel like getting much done. Which I think everybody should deserve every now and then, but I'm not super lazy. I don't super procrastinate at all. Do you believe in ghosts? No. Would you rather be, now these are the type of questions I love. Would you rather be attacked by a big bear or a swarm of bees? Now, here, I feel like it's a very easy answer from multiple different standpoints. First off, I would rather choose to be attacked by a big bear. For many reasons. First off, I don't believe I'm allergic to bees. I don't even think I'm allergic to really most anything that I'm aware of. If I am, something really minor that I really haven't encountered in my life, which could possibly be bees. But the thing about bees is, it's a lot harder, I think, to win against a swarm of bees, because there's more than just one of them. Secondly, you can get attacked by more than one at one time. 3, if I'm allergic, then boo-hoo on me. 4, it's harder to kill them. Like, say you're only armed with a stick, or whatever you can find around your surroundings at the time, which, if it's a big bear or a swarm of bees, you're probably outside. So, finding a stick, probably not the hardest thing to do, unless you're like in the middle of a field, or I was going to say something like a winter wasteland. It's like, bees can't survive there. It's going to be a lot harder to just swing a stick around if I had ever swim with bees. It's a lot harder. However, a big bear, first off, it says it's big, which I think is a bit repetitive. Simply because of the fact that bears are big. Unless you talk a little about a baby bear, they specify baby bear. Well, normal bear is still big. Bears are big. I don't think people really realize how big bears are. They're big. Without, even though I'm just using the word big, they're big. Alright? Just keep in mind. Just think big, that's a bear. It says it's big, which means it's going to be very hard not to be able to hit. First, you have to get in close to playing your stick. But secondly, you're only finding one of something, which means it's either it's easier to run away, it's also easier to attack, but it's a bear. I mean, you know, it'll swipe its paw and take your head off. But at the same time, I feel like it's easier to win against the bear, because you're finding one of it. And 2, I mean, can bears climb trees? I've never known if that's true or just a myth. If you know, put in the comments below. Because I've never really known, can bears do it? They do it in movies all the time, but it's like, can they? Yeah, I feel like, and they're fast too. Which means it's going to be a little harder to run away than possibly a swarm of bees, but you never know. Plus, the thing is if you win against a bear, as much as some people be like, oh, it's a bear, and a lot of people frown at this, you could turn into a bearskin rug. Or, you know, like a big, fluffy, fuzzy cape or robe or something. I don't know if that'd be me. I'd rather go up against a bear. I feel like my chances of winning are possibly better. Plus, you know, if I happen to not win against. I feel like it's going to be a lot quicker against the bear than bees. What is your least favorite movie? Ooh, I didn't look ahead for this one. But I really don't need to. Least favorite movie. I think it's hard for me to choose one. So I'm just going to list off a bunch of them. Of Mice and Men. Hated that. 999. Don't waste your time with that movie. It is god awful. Don't look at the cast of actors and actresses and be like, ooh, this could be good. No. It's awful. Great premise, great plot, brilliant idea. Poor execution. Poor. I mean, I could spoil this movie for you and you might enjoy it a bit better. It's not good. It's one of my least favorite movies of all time. Bloodfather, starring Mel Gibson. That's just... It's so boring, which is why it's my least favorite. It had so much promise, and its execution and acting, it's very cringy. Oh, Beautiful Creatures. Probably my least favorite book to movie adaptation. I will say that. That was so poorly done. Yeah. Let's move on to what is your favorite food? Easy. It is the Little Debbie Strawberry Shortcake Swiss Cake Rolls. No lie. They're my favorite thing ever. But of course it's more of a treat. So favorite food, like food? Like pizza? That's tough. Steak maybe? I love steak. Oh, cook a steak and you season it right. I'm a happy man. Steak. I really like steak. Give me a good cheeseburger. Wings aren't bad. I wouldn't put them up to my favorite. Can't go wrong with pizza depending on where it's from. Food. I don't really know if I'd be able to say. Maybe steak. Possibly steak. Yeah. If it's any food ever, then yeah, definitely the strawberry shortcake, Swiss cake rolls. Those are, they're my Klondike bars. I'd do anything for them. Alright, and we'll call this the last one, which is another food related one. Ever eat a pierogi? I think I have. Let me look it up. Pierogi. I've butchered the spelling of that. Oh, it's like a little dumpling thing, but it's not from Asia. Oh yeah, it's the Polish like dumpling thing. I think I've had one. I think I've tried one before, and I wasn't a fan of it. Could have been the filling. Not really a big dumpling sort of fan either. So, have I eaten a pierogi? I'm pretty sure I have. I just wasn't a fan of it. It's been so long. It would have been a good, handful of years to a decade ago. But yeah, then we're going to stop our questions there for the day. So, because we don't want to take up too much of your time. And also, we're going to save some for next time. And of course, we're going to end this segment for today how we're going to normally end it, and that is I'm going to ask you guys about 4 to 5 questions of my own to ask you guys to answer in the questions below, as well as to ask your own questions for me to answer next time. Best answer will get a little shout out in the next video, and possibly anything else. This is something new I'm trying, so all suggestions and comments are welcome below. To help me make this better for you guys, and because I want to have fun with this. So we're going to start off with cake or pie. Question number 1, cake or pie. Simple question there. Second question for you guys. What animal would you like to have as a pet? Any animal, ever. Let's keep it non-fictional. Let's keep it realistic to our world. What animal would you like to have? 3. Sweet or salty snacks, or both? Would you rather have a sweet snack, salty snack, or together? 4. which celebrity would you like to have as your best friend? Any celebrity ever. And 5, we're going to end it with the question I had proposed earlier. With having fallen prey to an evil mastermind who is into cliche ways of getting rid of their adversary, would you rather A, be eaten alive by piranhas with no teeth, or B, be bound to sink in incredibly slow quicksand? Like, it's going to take about an hour here. So, those are my questions for you guys. Put your answers down below. If you want any questions for me to answer next time. And yeah, we will see how things go from there. I've been Lego MacGyver. Tell you master builders out there, stay brookie, keep building, and I will see you all next time.